Lake City, South Carolina, what's going on? This is the Crown Prince of Soul Music, Calvin Richardson. Stopping by to let you know that Friday, September the 26th, I will be at the Lake City Event Center with the young Sugar Daddy. Just then, he'll be performing live along with Level 10's live band. DJ Tony T will be on the ones and twos. So make sure that you're in the place to be because I want to meet and greet you while you're there. Friday, September the 26th. Get your tickets at IamCalvinRichardson.com.
It's time for a little comedy, a little content, and a lot of conversation. It's the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube. And now here's your host, Geno Jones.
Come on in, come on in, come on down, everybody. What's happening? It is showtime. Geno Jones Showtime. How we doing? You having a great day? I hope you had a great day. I'm just checking this microphone. Do I want to move it up a little? Can I do this? I can because it is my show. And that's what I love about live TV. I guess you say, man, you had all that time to do that. I just changed my mind. I just thought I would adjust it a little more. So Monday through Friday, that's when we get down. That's when we go down and we come on down and do what we do. Monday through Friday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, everybody, 6:30 p.m. Central Time. Chicago, salute. I see you out there. Memphis, Tennessee, stand strong. Everybody from Minneapolis to Milwaukee, St. Louis, Jackson, Mississippi, Little Rock, Arkansas. How about New Orleans? Everybody on Central Time. Of course, East Coast time, New York City, Philly, Charlotte, here in the Charleston metro area, Myrtle Beach, Hilton Head. Let's go on to the ATL, down to the 305, to the MIA, Tampa, and Orlando. Live in Los Angeles. Wait, don't let me forget the Mountain Time. I see you, Denver, Colorado. Shout out to Coach Prime up in Boulder, Colorado, doing your thing, Mountain Time, 5:30. Live in Los Angeles and Las Vegas. Everybody on the West Coast, Seattle, Portland, Oregon, where my superstar daughter, Lauren Shiana Hill Vaughn, and my son-in-law, Jonathan Vaughn, doing their thing. Just amazing. Maybe out in the Bay Area, San Francisco, Oakland, San Diego, 4:30 p.m. Eastern. The Geno Jones Show brought to you by CojoLLC.com. CojoLLC.com. Shout out to Courtney Johnson. Courtney's Corner returns a week from today, a week from tonight, this afternoon, if you're on the West Coast. If you're in the Carolinas, South or North Carolina, and you're looking to buy or sell a home, reach out to my girl, Courtney Johnson. She's amazing. CojoLLC.com. You can reach her there. You can call 843 area code 543-4022. That's the 843 area code 543-4022. All right, we got a great show. By the way, the show is interactive. Do you know what that means? That means that you can join the conversation right now in my chat room. If you're watching me live, you can start a conversation. You can join the conversation. You can ask me a question. You got a comment. You can share that. Feel free. Maybe you're feeling lucky, or maybe unlucky. Maybe you want to come for me. Come on, bring your ass. Come on. But if you come for me and I don't send for you, I'm gonna send you back where you came from, and I can do it with a smile. Unless you get really sideways, then yeah, you'll get these horns. You know, don't play with a May Taurus, because you will get these horns, okay? But that's not our nature. We are earth sign that we love people, we love hard. We are 10 toes down. If we like you, we love you, we love you. But oh no, you go ahead, pull that red cape if you want to, you'll get these horns. But I digress, because it's all about love and happiness. But we will call out the bullshit and point out the hatred and talk about how folks are using hate for profit and big business, which is really going to be part of my monologue. I want to shout out some people at the beginning of the show. So everybody watching, if you are a fan of the people that I'm about to name, because I'm a big fan of their work, I really appreciate what they're doing. And I love, because two of the main people, they are educators. They are, one, she used to teach, she stopped teaching. And the other one is a professor currently, who is, he is the most brilliant person. I mean, just in terms, the brother is brilliant. Academically, he is as brilliant as I'd put him up with anybody. With all the great, academics, those in academia, thought leaders, he is definitely that. But he's got You know, he's got the academic pedigree, 2-time Teacher of the Year, HBCU, but he's got what my grandfather used to call mother wit, common sense. So that's a hell of a combination when you can combine the two. And hell of a recall. I'm shouting out Dr. Greg Carr and my man Lamont King is on with Greg Carr. Sirius XM Urban View Channel 126. They do great. Really, the whole channel from Larry Daniel Favors that comes on after Dr. Carr and the late Joe Madison. He is the man that really launched that channel. Rest in power. Legendary Hall of Fame talk show host. His daughter Shauna Renee, she's on Monday in the mornings. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Dr. Greg Carr and Lamont. And then Larry comes on 5 days, and my man Clay Kane, and then Reese Colbert's sister comes on with him. Just brilliant. And then, of course, the other national treasure, along with Dr. Greg Carr, is my fellow Taurian sister. Even though she's an April Taurus, I think I called her one time. I would say she tried to shade, but she's like, well, we're a little different. But look, Tauruses are Tauruses. So my Taurus sister, I got the utmost love and respect for. Miss Karen Hunter. She's a bad sister. And she's an educator. You know, she taught in college for years, Hunter College. And then Reverend Al Sharpton. So just shout out to the entire Sirius XM lineup. But Dr. Carr and Greg. I called in today because I had to call in because I was watching Vice President Kamala Harris. She was on Rachel Maddow. Shout out to Rachel. I'm a fan of Rachel's work. So full stop. Even though I'm still a little... Rachel, I'm still a little side-eyed looking at you. Now, listen, I know you're not the president. This woman, Rebecca Cutler. Now, I thought I heard from Joey that, like, the three of you and this Rebecca, because she used to be at CNN, you all were tight, like really good friends. But I saw what you said on TV. You went hard in the paint on television. But I don't know. I was listening to Joy, watching Joy. She kind of feels, but anyway, I digress. This monologue is not about that. But my point is, I saw Kamala Harris, whose new book, 107 Days, came out on Tuesday. Yesterday, if you're watching me live here on Wednesday, on Tuesday. And I saw her on with Rachel. And I have to confess, in real time, I'm saying, that was nice. I said, but man, she could have went on the weekend. But Rachel is the big star, and I'm sure she's got a relationship with Rachel, but you got Simone Sanders, which is kind of ironic. And I just thought about that in real time as I'm talking to you live right now, Wednesday night, probably about 7:40, somewhere 7:30, almost 7:38, 7:39 East Coast time. It doesn't matter. Simone Sanders, who's one of the three co-hosts on the show that replaced Joy Reid, the weeknight. Simone Sanders used to work for Kamala Harris while she was vice president. And you would think that the vice president, and look, I'm not being messy, I'm just making an observation. I'm surprised. Now, I get it. Kamala Harris is selling books right now. She's got a book to sell. So she needs some eyeballs and credit card numbers, bank card numbers, cash, Zelle, Venmo, Cash App, whatever, however you paying for it. So I get it, but you would think that, she, hooked up with Simone and Michael Steele. But it didn't happen. But that's not what this monologue is about. But I was saying that it would have been nice if she would have, gave that first interview to somebody from the culture, from the community. All right. And I thought about Joy Reid. But in all fairness, full disclosure, I saw apparently Joy sat down and did an interview with Kamala Harris, and Joy dropped it, I believe, on her YouTube channel on Tuesday. So I'm like, okay. But literally, also, when I saw Vice President Kamala Harris on with Rachel Maddow, I said, man, it would be cool. What if Vice President Kamala Harris did like a town hall? Now, I was having a little fun because this morning when I called Dr. Gray Carr and Lamont. I said, do it like in a big arena, like the State Farm, like the Georgia Dome and State Farm Arena. But I think it would be really cool because they would have a huge, huge audience to do a big urban view town hall with Kamala Harris, Dr. Greg Carr and Lamont King and Larry Daniel Favors, Clay Kane and Reese Colbert, Karen Hunter, and Reverend Al Sharpton. All of them just do a big town hall. So Dr. Greg Carr and Lamont King flipped it on me, and Shauna Renee was in with us and said, what would you ask? And because for me, and I told him, I had the idea not for me personally, it was for the culture and the community. And so we kind of went back and forth. But my main point was, and clip this and send it to Dr. Carr, even though I mentioned it to them. This, especially Dr. Carr, and shout out to Lamont King too, because even though he is a comedian, he's worked in radio. I heard he's talked about working in radio for decades. But Dr. Carr is just such a brilliant, well-read man. I mean, this brother is just knowledgeable about virtually any and everything. So I would just love to see them have a conversation. It's no one or two questions that I would ask, and I said it would just be an organic conversation, because I know from listening to Dr. Carr and Lamont, but listening to Dr. Carr with Karen Hunter on her show, they started off, about 5 years ago in COVID, something called In Class with Carr on YouTube, and then I know they do something else on Monday night, but I've watched some of the In Class with Carr. I would just love to see that conversation, because I know the type of man that Dr. Carr is. It would be a very interesting conversation, and I know it would reveal who is Kamala Harris. I mean, like, who really, I'm sure, because I don't know. I've met Kamala Harris, and yes, she's a politician, but she didn't come across as phony, not at all. And people saw it when she was running in those 107 days. But I would just like to see the conversation, knowing how well read, the fact that she went to an HBCU, she went to Howard, where Dr. Carr teaches. So I'm sure it would just be a very interesting conversation, and it would be very revealing. And I'm confident. I told Dr. Carr, I said, he said, would you trust us, with asking the right questions or whatever? I told him 1,000%, not 100%, 1,000%. So I just wanted to shout them out and thank them for shouting me out and shouting the show out and letting me come on. So anyway, I know about 10, 11 minutes of the monologue shouting them out, but they've earned it. So check them out. Because listen, once again, we are all we got. But we are all we need. And we have everything we need. So I'm going to segue from there, but shout out, check them out on Urban View, Channel 126. Speaking of we, so Jimmy Kimmel returned to the ABC network last night. I've seen I haven't sat down and watched the entire monologue. I think they say his monologue was like 30. He did one of my monologues. He was like, about 30, 35-minute monologues. Usually monologues are no longer than, they're like 7 to 10 minutes, maybe a little longer, some 12. If it's really long, 15, if there's really something to get off their chest. But your monologues are usually somewhere in that 7, 8, 9, 10-minute range. But Jimmy Kimmel had a lot to talk about. He was snatched off just for BS. Snatched off because, as he said, Orange Hitler, my name for your boy, Felon 47, can't take a joke. And he can't stand the truth. He can't tell the truth. He will, as my grandmother says, he will stick to the lie. He will make up the lie, and he will stick to the lie. Stick to the lie. And then Orange Hitler's chairman of the FCC, Brendan Carr, who wrote the chapter in Project 2025, which is this new Jim Crow, racist, misogynist, sexist, homophobic manifesto blueprint on taking America back basically to, like before they wrote the Constitution. So 1780, somewhere around in this. Country was founded in 1776, somewhere in that range, in that area, way back, to where the only people who could vote were, according to the original Constitution, white Christian male landowners. But we're living in a different time in 2025. And what these billionaires who, and not because every billionaire is not racist, every billionaire is not, but there's a like a cabal. You've got Donald Trump, who's probably a billionaire now with just all the all the corruption that it's legal because he's done it. He's doing it, so he's like, I'm the president. It ain't illegal because I'm doing it. But your Elon Musk and your Peter Thiels, you know, these guys who were like the PayPal bros that founded PayPal. Elon Musk's billionaire Peter Thiel, who's also from South Africa. Elon Musk, South African. And I heard a story about his dad, Errol Musk, been charged with and accused of sexually assaulting some of his own children. Woo! No wonder Elon Musk is so screwed up. That's a whole nother conversation. But you got a handful of these billionaires, all the ones that showed up on Inauguration Day that was like sitting right there with Orange Hitler at the dais. Jeff Bezos, the dude that owns the LA Times, you know, a handful of them. They are used, and it's an old playbook. Once again, the same wealthy elite Europeans who created this con game. People call it a social construct. It's a con game. Race is a con. It's like a hustle. On the south side of Chicago, we call it a hustle. It's a hell of a hustle. Because you got to have a handful of people in Europe, because Europeans never called themselves white before the 1680s. They were Europeans, they were wealthy, they were the monarchs, and then they were like the peasants. They didn't call themselves white. But here we are. So they came up with this social construct called race, to where the poor, working class, peasant Europeans, these, you know, wealthy, elite white folks, Europeans, they don't like these poor, working class, peasant Europeans. So they got to figure out, okay, we got to figure out a way so they won't focus on us and be angry at us. So we can continue to deny them. We can make sure we don't want them to, but you know, reach our class. Everybody can't. They know we don't want you to be part of our group. You are beneath us. You got this whole classism thing. So they came up with this construct. These Europeans, you know, in the late 1680s, this come up with something called race. So these European peasants that look like us, that are pale, no melanin, if we could make them think these dark people are the enemy and evil and they're dangerous, and we can create fear and envy and make them fear these people and be jealous and envious of them, then we can just steal their money. We can control and gain more social, economic, and political power. Here we are, what, 400 years later, almost 300 and some odd, you know, over 300 years later, here we are. Here we are, like 340 years later, 1680s to 8 and 4 is 12. Yeah, there you go. So about 340-ish years later, here we are. Got a small handful of people, the wealthiest people in the world, like it was in the 1680s. They didn't call them billionaires then, but they're billionaires now. Now they're buying up all the media, like all these big media companies, which ties into Jimmy Fallon. I'm going to bring it all home and tie it all together. They create division, create fear, hatred, bigotry, racism, misogyny, sexism, homophobia, all of it. Pit these folks against each other. You know, let's hire folks, let's grab folks that dropped out of college and set them up with a nonprofit, give them almost $5 million, $4.7 million. Let's do that way back in like the 90s, late 90s, early 2000s, and give them enough money where they can go around and spread propaganda and hate. Oh yeah, some of you all know who I'm talking about. Yeah. These billionaires, they handpick people to be their mouthpiece and messengers. How you think J.D. Vance, Peter Thiel, one of these billionaires, handpicked him, bankrolled him. He was bankrolled. Charlie Kirk bankrolled. A lot of these MAGA podcasters and politicians bankrolled by these billionaires. And part of these people are these white Christian, Jesus-free Christian nationalists that have this really racist view of Christianity. That's rooted in racism and misogyny and all of that. White Christian nationalism. And they're just really using Trump. They just put him in there because he don't give a damn. The only God he worships is money. But here's the good news. And here's the thing that they don't want you and me, even though I know, and I'm going to make sure you know, that yet, even with all their billions and trillions of dollars, and as much power as they have, and as much power as they think they have, guess what? We, you, me, we come together. We have the power. The politicians are supposed to work for us. We don't work for the politicians. We determine the policies, the things that's important, like making sure people can go to a doctor. God forbid if something happens and they have to go to the ER, or a child gets a fever and gets sick, or you got an elderly parent, or your wife is having a baby, or whatever it is, that everybody should be able to eat. And they should be able to make like a real living wage, like $20, $25 an hour. $25 an hour, the way a giant box of cereal is $10. Heck, $20 an hour is not enough now, minimum, even though the federal minimum wage is $7.25 an hour. Just think about that. So let me tie in Jimmy Fallon. Jimmy Fallon is back. And one of the main reasons Jimmy Fallon is back, because so many people not just spoke up publicly and posted videos and posted on social media. Their money talked. And how did their money speak? Because they canceled Disney, not just Disney, the Disney subscription, they did. Because Disney's got this bundle where you can get Disney, ESPN, and then ESPN's got this brand new app. They spend all this money marketing and promoting, the ESPN app. You can do everything. You can bet on games. You can stream whatever team any sport. You can stream all of it. You can watch your favorite people, the personalities on ESPN. They got all this other content. Everything that ESPN has, they got on an app now. And they got ESPN Plus. Then they got Hulu, and they got Disney Plus. But people en masse started canceling those subscriptions, Disney and ESPN, the whole bundle. And Disney stock started to tank. Who and what does that sound like? Target. I'm going to say it now. I've been saying it for 5 years, and I'm going to say it again. The way to get people's attention with money and power is to start digging in them pockets. And when you start digging in those pockets, you will get people's attention. You may not change their ideology. You may not get them to see your humanity. You may not be able to infuse them with a sense of compassion and empathy, humanity, decency. Not at all. They may still be as racist and hateful and bigoted and anti-Islamic, anti-Muslim, anti-immigrant, anti-Latino, whatever. And is homophobic and transphobic, all of that. But if you dig in them pockets deep enough, you will get their attention. And you will change or modify their behavior. You'll get their attention. I promise you. See Disney. The last number I saw, Jimmy Kimmel show had like, before I came on at 7:30, the last number I saw. Right here on YouTube, Jimmy Kimmel, because ABC was smart, so shout out to ABC. Y'all see the future, don't you? Yeah, it's going to be interesting how this thing is going to work out. ABC, apparently, they streamed Jimmy Kimmel's show right here on YouTube. The last number I saw was like 19 million views. Right here on YouTube. I know YouTube is like, thank you, ABC. They're like, yeah. So all these other local stations, like the one here, there's actually a Sinclair station. Nexstar and Sinclair are these huge MAGA-owned companies that they got a lot of TV stations, local TV stations in local markets. So Nexstar and Sinclair are like, well, we're not going to run Jimmy Fallon, which can be really interesting because Disney really got fuck you money. Now, you know, Sinclair, the owners of Sinclair and Nexstar, these companies, and Nexstar is in, so they are trying to merge with another company. It's a $6.2 billion merger. So Nexstar is trying to merge with this other company so they can become bigger than their competition. So they're really trying to kiss Orange Hitler's ass. So he will, and the FCC chairman, Brendan Carr, this racist, who's tried to talk like a mob boss. ABC, they can do this the hard way or the easy way. Really do. And what happened to the First Amendment? The right of free speech. The government cannot determine. You have what you say, you have a right to criticize the government. You have a right to call them full of shit. You have a right to call out their criminal behavior, or just if you don't like that, maybe you just don't like them. But in America, the very First Amendment, even before the second one, and y'all worship the Second Amendment, you know, that's the one, right to bear arms. This was before that one. So your founding fathers, who were human traffickers, that's a whole nother conversation, and enslavers, the First Amendment, the right of free speech, and the right to criticize your government. But your boy Orange Hitler, trying to take a page out of Putin and Kim Jong-un in North Korea, President Xi in China. Nobody's above criticism. Nobody's above criticism. But you've got the Nexstars and the Sinclairs, these companies that own these local stations that don't want to run, that said they're not going to run Jimmy Kimmel's show. They call it preempted, which means that they're just going to find something else to put on at 11:30 Eastern Time or 10:30 p.m. if you're in Chicago, or 11:30 p.m. on the West Coast. I guess YouTube is like, hey, hello, ABC, come on down. Come on, Jimmy. We got you, Jimmy. Come on through. Stephen Colbert, I'm sure, is like, yeah, okay, come on. Hey, Joy Reid is over here. Don Lemon is over here. I'm over here. There's a bunch of folks. My buddy Rick Party. As a matter of fact, I was talking about from Dr. Greg Carr and them. I know Karen Hunter's got a channel here, and Dr. Greg Carr and Karen Hunter, they've got their In Class with Carr Saturday morning. They've been doing that for like 5 years here on YouTube. So come on over, man. Come on, Jimmy. Come on down, brother. I'd love to have you on this show. Come on my show. I got you. So over a broadcast network. So ABC, they have, I said this the other day. So ABC, NBC, CBS, and Fox, they have what they call O&Os, owned and operated stations. Somewhere, I think most of them is less than 20. Somewhere between more than 10, less than 20 stations nationwide that ABC, CBS, NBC, and Fox, they own and operate. Chicago, New York, LA, San Francisco, Dallas, Philly, Houston, Miami, for sure. And I'm sure I'm leaving some out. Boston, and but I digress because that's not really important. And then you've got these local stations, your Nexstar and Sinclair and some other ones. There's a Great Communication and other ones with the local stations. Then Byron Allen is a part of that. He's got local stations too. And so these local stations have contracts with your ABCs, NBC, CBS, and Fox to run their network programming. So there's a contract. So I'm sure if Disney really wanted to play hardball, they could be like, well, you signed this contract, and we could make an argument that you preempting not running Jimmy Kimmel is a breach of the contract. Now, of course, Sinclair and Gray's going to come back. They'll say, well, because you feel that he's going to offend our local audience and they are upset with him, and, that might harm our business, and, we may lose viewers, but then you would gain them. But that's going to be the argument. That would be the legal argument, roughly. But Disney got, like I said, Nexstar, Sinclair, y'all got money. Disney got fuck you for real money. They got like fuck you money, if they really wanted to do that. But what I hope everybody's looking at is that's so many things going through my head at one time. The future. See, digital platforms, they call legacy media, broadcast. Think about it. Even late night talk shows, people were talking about they were losing money, and almost the majority, if not at least half of the people or more, especially I'd say millennials and your Gen Zs, everything they consume is on their phone or tablet. So a lot of people, they'll watch and they have to go to bed because a lot of people, the majority of America can't stay up till like 11:30 on the East Coast or 10:30 in Chicago or 11:30 out on the West Coast. They've been watching Jimmy Kimmel, Stephen Colbert, Jimmy Fallon, Seth Meyers. They watch them on YouTube because all these shows put, if not the entire show, they put most of the show or major parts of the show up on YouTube, shorter clips on TikTok and Instagram and all these other platforms, Threads, let me see, Blue Sky. But the point I'm trying to make is the most important point is that America, we have the power to choose humanity over hate. Unfortunately, there was a shooting at an ICE office in Dallas. The last report I saw, 2 people were killed, 1 was injured. Now, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to continue to say it. That political violence, really, violence, period, is unacceptable. No matter who commits it, nobody gets a pass. That's the way I was raised as a kid. Trust me, if my mother knew I engaged in some violence, and my mother loves me as much as any mother, I don't think any mother could love their child more than my mother loves me, and the feeling is mutual. But I guarantee you, if I would have engaged in some violent activity of any kind, I'm not talking about defending myself, I'm talking about engaged in violence, no pass. My mother would not have given me, would not to this day give me a pass. So political violence is unacceptable, no matter who commits it, because that's part of the con. That's part of the hustle. that they want us to hate each other. They want us to be at each other's throat. So we're not asking for the Epstein files and the Holman files. Oh, his boy Tom Holman, that apparently the FBI, MSNBC, and New York Times reported. Your border czar with his illiterate, no-talking, looking like Curly Howard ass with a lisp. Oh, I'm gonna keep doing it because the Trump. Tom Holman, his ass, is on videotape. The FBI has a videotape of him accepting $50,000. So they were posing as a company that was looking to get put on. That's what we say, here on the east side of Charleston, or south side of Chicago. I mean, they wanted the hookup, a connection. Tom Holman said, when Trump wins, I'm going to be his border guy. I'm going to be deporting all these folks. And if you want to get one of these contracts to be part of this deportation, it's going to be the largest one in the history of America. That's what the dude said, Tom Holman. So they have him on, the FBI has videotape of Tom Holman accepting or being offered, saying, yeah, give me the 50 grand. Now, apparently, he didn't get the money because he wasn't in office. But, they say, hey, we'll give you 50 grand. And they got him on tape saying, I'll take it. Soon as he win, come see me. Holler at your man. Or better yet, he probably said, just sell it to me. So the Tom Holman files, the Jeffrey Epstein files, where Orange Hitler's name, Trump's name is all throughout that. That's not what I'm saying. That's what the Department of Justice and the folks in the FBI that they had look at the Epstein files, and they was like, oh, because remember Pam Bondi, his Attorney General in the Department of Justice, she was bragging in February on the Fox propaganda channel saying, I've got the Epstein files on my desk and I'm going to release them. And they had this notebook that they gave away to some of these MAGA reporters about the Epstein files. And then all of a sudden, the Epstein files are gone. The dog ate them. The cat peed on them. The janitorial system threw them away by accident. She left the window open, and it was a thunderstorm, a strong wind, and the wind blew them out, and just something happened to them, or they just disappeared into thin air. All of a sudden, from being on Pam Bondi's desk, the Attorney General just vanished in thin air. We don't know where they are. My dog ate them. We have the power, and we got the real power at the purse, because the House of Representatives, they say, has the power at the purse because they control how money is spent. We have the power. As Target, as Disney, when we come together, and for the culture and the community, Black America, we control, what, $2 trillion in spending power. Like I said, ask Target. Target's value as a company lost $12 billion in value since January. Now, I don't know how much value, I don't know how much Disney stock dropped, so I don't know in that moment how much the value of Disney dropped off. But whatever that number is, it was enough for Disney's execs to say, yo, Jimmy, go on back on, dude. Just, go on back on. And I shout out to Jimmy Kimmel. I respect his humanity. Because I said in real time when this whole story about Charlie Kirk being killed, we're not doing, no. Dr. King was assassinated. John F. Kennedy was assassinated. His brother, Robert F. Kennedy, was assassinated. Abraham Lincoln was assassinated. No. Charlie Kirk was murdered. Tragically. Tragically. I don't condone. I don't wish death on nobody, because karma is real. And the things that the tongue has the power of life and death. And the energy that you put out into the universe will find you. You will run into it. It'll find its way back to you because it is your energy. So political violence is unacceptable no matter who commits violence. But the people who are creating the climate, from your boy Orange Hitler at the top, they are creating a climate to have enough violence for him to do things like declare martial law and really send in the military. And I don't think they really thought what that's going to look like. Because do you realize the economic people? But you know what? I ain't trying to give Orange Hitler no advice. This is not going to go down the way he thinks it is. And I just want to remind everybody, once again, the way to get people's attention with money and power. Protesting in the streets is good. To my white brothers and sisters, it's y'all time to shine out in them streets. You know, we're not going to be out in mass, you know, because, you know, you got too many of these racist folks, part of ICE, and the racists that aren't the ones that are in the National Guard, they just itching. So they always police black bodies differently than they do white bodies. That's just a fact. There's video evidence. There's centuries of history that local policing was created to police black bodies. Slave patrols. Your local police have come from slave patrols. That's how the local police started. They were slave patrols, and they morphed into local law enforcement. So they've always policed black bodies differently. But we have the power of the purse. The way to get people's attention with money and power is to dig it in pockets. And I leave you, America and all of humanity. It's more of us, those who see each other's humanity, those of us that have compassion and empathy and know Elon Musk, and even Charlie Kirk said that before he was shot and killed. He's on video saying that empathy basically it's like a weakness. Elon Musk said it. They said it openly. You can find the video. I'm sure right here on YouTube. Why would having compassion and empathy for another human being who raised you? Why? And you call yourself a Christian, but you think empathy is a weakness? Come on, y'all. Come on. Like Spike Lee said in his movie, my man, at the end of Do the Right Thing. Wake up! Wake up! But those of us that see each other's humanity, that have compassion and empathy and decency and morality, and want everybody to do well and be healthy and be happy and to be able to live good with your loved ones and make sure that your children have a great life and a great education, because a lot of they don't want too many folks educated because they don't want them to have well-paying jobs. That's a whole nother monologue. But I want everybody. I want everybody to live their best life. I want everybody to be the best version of themselves. And you being the best version of you does not harm me. It does not minimize me. It is not a threat to me, because nobody can beat me being the best version of me. But nobody can beat you being the best version of you. So when we can do that, then the world will be a better place. And oh my God, just some of the great, think of some of the great inventions and technologies that has come. We haven't seen anything yet. If we lean into our humanity, if we lean into love and compassion and empathy and decency, and see ourselves in each other. Real simple. My final words, the last word. Treat everybody else the way that you want to be treated. Even though I know some people hate themselves. And for those people who hate themselves, which is why they treat other people with hate, learn to love you. Because can't nobody love you until you love yourself. All right, thank you for watching, everybody. Thank you for being a part of the Geno Jones Show. Monday through Friday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, live, 6:30 p.m. Central Time, live, 4:30 p.m. on the West Coast. Tell everybody to subscribe to the Geno Jones Show YouTube channel. Subscribe and share, screen grab, rip some of the video, like, please. Leave your comments in the comment section below. Like this every episode. I am now, and shout out to all of, once again, I got like a lot of new subscribers last night. I am now, let's see, less than 70, like 60 something, 69 as of 7:30 Eastern Time. Like 69 new subscribers for becoming a YouTube partner. That means when I become a YouTube partner that this channel and my media company, that YouTube will monetize this channel and my media company. It is so important that we support Black-owned media. Full stop. Nobody is going to tell our story better than us. Tell the truth, shame the devil. That's what Jean Jones, my grandmother who raised me, taught me. Jeannie, tell the truth, shame the devil. And that's what we do here. The Geno Jones Show brought to you by KojoLLC.com, Courtney Johnson. If you're looking to buy or sell a home in the Carolinas, South Carolina, North Carolina, give her a call. She's got you. 843 area code 543-4022. 843 area code 543-4022. Shout out to Markel Bailey, the official barber and hairstylist for the Geno Jones Show, the CEO of Designer Cuts here in the Charleston, South Carolina metro area. Check him out on Instagram. Kel be cutting up because he's a bad man. KELBECUTTINUP. Allie Jones, the official wardrobe consultant and stylist for the Geno Jones Show. You can check her on her Lexi Jones collection out. And DJ, yes. Mixing, that's right, got a controller, got her little Pioneer. She's Mix Master Lexi. She is killing the game. Check her out. LX.NCL_. She's a designer, a supermodel, and a DJ, multi-talented. LX.NCL_. Thank you for watching, everybody. Thank everybody watching me live. Everybody that's watched the recorded version, thank you too. Once again, feel free to screen grab, screenshot, pull some of the video, pull these clips. Let's make them go viral. We'll see you Thursday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Once again, please leave your comments below in the comment section. And if you would like to support the Geno Jones Show and Geno Media, my media company, your financial support is greatly appreciated and is much needed. No amount is too small or too large. You can Zelle or Cash App if you want to Zelle me. Use my email address, which is my Gmail, Geno Jones Show. Geno Jones Show @gmail. You can Zelle your contribution, your financial support there. Or you can use Cash App, $ Dad G Jones, all one word. $ capital D, lowercase a d, capital G, capital J, lowercase ONES. $ Dad G Jones. Thank you in advance for your contribution, for your financial support, believing in me, believing in my mission, believing in my platform, believing in my commitment to the culture and the community, believing in my commitment to humanity. and seeing my humanity in everyone's humanity, even the haters. We'll see you live Thursday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 6:30 p.m. Central Time, 4:30 p.m. out on the West Coast. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Lake City, South Carolina, what's going on? This is the Crown Prince of Soul Music, Calvin Richardson. Stopping by to let you know that Friday, September the 26th, I will be at the Lake City events with the young Sugar Daddy. Just then, he'll be performing live along with Level 10's live band. DJ Tony T will be on the ones and twos. So make sure that you're in the place to be because I want to meet and greet you while you're there. Friday, September the 26th. Get your tickets at IamCalvinRichardson.com.
Subscribe and tune in to the next episode of The Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube.